Hey, what's up? It's the Neon Nightcast podcast. I'm Michael Thrax, and like always, I'm joined by Garrett Zagri.
Hello!
Eric the Dr. Soybean.
We should do
Always a pleasure.
And Anita, whatever.
I have no catchphrase.
Yeah, whatever your name is. You don't have like a name, and you don't have.
Well, I do have a handle, but it's Anita, just spelt wrong.
Anita.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, if you're just tuning in or whatever, we have a fancy new picture drawn by a friend. Isn't that
Does
exciting?
it make your eyes feel good?
I think it's gosh darn fantastic piece of artwork right there.
I think it's better than... I think it gives me a better feeling than having a hog leg in my mouth.
No, come on, man.
Nothing tops
Come
that.
on. Nothing. Yeah, exactly. Nothing tops a hog
A
leg.
big juicy hog leg.
Just
Yeah.
in my lip.
You stuff it on in your lip, and you just suck on it for a day or two, and then you spit it out and get a new hog leg in there.
That nicotine directly into your gums.
I've hog-legged half a can before.
No way.
Yeah.
Like
That's
at
it?
once?
That's not even
Yeah.
impressive. Like, do you not go to the hog leg tournaments?
They
Where
would
they
fit all
hog leg
kinds of
multiple
cans in there.
Do you think that
Yeah,
there's something like that, like
It
dipping
wouldn't shock me.
World Series?
There probably
doubt
is.
But
No.
I mean, let's check.
There's like vape competitions. There's
Which
definitely
is
hog legging competitions.
So lame.
Cause like, what is it called? Like, cause you can't just do
Dipping.
Dipping,
but like tobacco.
packing,
Tobacco chewing.
chewing.
Championships.
Yeah, it could be that.
They probably have a contest to see who can like spit the farthest or something like that.
Ew.
Yeah.
Tobacco chewing championships. I don't know. Let's
gotta
move
start
on, and
one,
I'll.
we give out a
Yeah,
The
we-
champion every year gets cancer, so.
we give out a reward for the fattest hog leg.
yeah, just whoever
we
can
can do that.
stuff the most nicotine in their mouth, in their yap.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. It's talking about people that
Oh yeah,
are
drugs.
champions.
You gotta have drugs.
Oh yeah, the soundboard.
You forgot it existed for a second.
There's a snuff world championship.
What?
Who?
That's where you
can
just
stuff
snort it, right?
Powder up their noses. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like snuff films. It was like, what?
Who can murder an innocent
Yeah,
on
what
camera
the
the best?
fuck?
That's why I was confused.
It's like, oh,
These are people that had gay sex hundreds of times in coffins, begging for spiritual entities to possess them.
That one's a little
That
long.
one's too loud, and that was not relevant at all.
Well, he's talking about people who would make snuff films.
Oh,
That's the
okay,
relevance.
okay.
Yeah, but what would be the categories for snuff films? Like cinematography, best death,
Best, most creative murder.
sexual snuffs.
Ooh.
Oh, Nita's
What about like group snuffs? Most consecutive
snuff.
snuffs within a certain time period.
Best snuffy.
Okay, well let's get into a topic.
Oh, that's not the topic? Damn.
Wow, we're just kind of flapping around. Do we want to talk about? Let's talk about this one first. Dr. Disrespect is back in the Twitch news. Garrett, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, so there was a clip I watched on the Philip DeFranco show of Dr. Disrespect streaming. I think it was Black Ops or something like that. And suddenly you just hear a pop, and then he disappears off camera, and then he comes back later and said someone just shot into his house
What the fuck?
with a gun, and it knocked out his like upstairs window.
So
And he said it's happened twice now.
yeah, this is the second time it's happened. Now, Dr. Disrespect has been in. You know, he was a really big streamer on Twitch. A few years ago, he had a lot of drama with cheating on his ex-wife now. Are they still together? Do we know, Garrett?
I believe
So-
they're still together.
So does he think he's being targeted, or that it's like does he think he's being targeted because of what he's doing, like something to do with his streaming? In other words, is that?
I feel like that's got to be it.
Yeah, because like I feel like if he moves and like, because I mean most Twitch streamers are pretty I can't think of the word, but they don't let anyone know, like, obviously where they live. I mean, if you send mail to them,
they're
they have
private
PO boxes and whatever. Yeah, they have pretty private lives, and yeah. So I feel like if he moves, this might stop happening. But I mean, there's always people that fucking figure out where you live, and they're kind of assholes. Because like I saw on the news a couple days ago, there were armed robbers that broke into Post Malone's old house.
Yeah,
because it was on the Jake Paul. Remember whenever Jake Paul
when he doxed him.
Yeah.
So thank God Post Malone moved.
Yeah. So yeah, someone shot at Dr. Speck's house. Everyone's fine, but yeah, it's just what the fuck is wrong with people?
Like unless he's doing something on the side that is worth getting shot over, this is kind of crazy. Like, he's just a streamer. Like, you don't like him. He beat you at a video game, so you're gonna shoot his house.
Yeah, I mean, his character, his Dr. Disrespect character is like out there, and he's like all 80s is his character. Like he calls himself the two-time because he's like the two-time world championship of like some video game in 1989 and 1988 or something like that.
That was the year I was born.
Yeah, so I mean, he's got a pretty like brash personality, at least the Dr. Disrespect character does. But I mean, obviously, nothing deserves being shot at.
But I just think that's crazy. Like, he's getting targeted. I always feel like there's always a lot of hate or drama going around Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah, I feel like just Twitch, because Philip DeFranco brought this point up, and just like Twitch streamers in general, like, sometimes they have to notify police, hey, I'm streaming and this at this address. You know, if someone ends up finding my address and I get swatted or something, like, just to let you know, I'm just streaming.
Yeah,
because getting swatted became a huge fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I think there was a couple, or maybe not a couple, but I know one person got killed because of it.
Yeah. No, I remember that. I don't remember their name or anything or the details, but yeah. Someone died from being swatted. Now, Dr. Disrespect, I guess what he should do is call the police, and then...
I'm sure he has.
But, like, a police officer should be outside of their house, like, undercover, and try to catch this in action.
Well, are the police forces really going to do that, or is it just going to be, like, go and buy your own fucking camera, bro?
I feel like the police would do something to, like, monitor... anything happening, like maybe have more patrols over in this area. Some of that, I doubt they would have someone like positioned there. I mean, maybe Dr. Disrespect can hire someone like a PI or something to sit outside, but yeah, I don't know.
Camera probably is cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my other thing is, like, is it actually targeted, like, specifically because he's Dr. Disrespect?
I feel like it is. He said it's happened twice in a week.
Because the only thing is,
at his house,
like, in my building, there was people that were shooting BB guns at people's cars going in and out of the driveway to our building.
I feel like this is different because I'm sure he lives in a residential area, not an apartment. Like he says house, and he says they shot at his house twice. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not in like an apartment setting.
Yeah,
it is a residential area. So,
well, does he live in a bad neighborhood?
I doubt it. Like, he's a pretty big streamer.
Yeah, he makes a crap ton of money.
Yeah, I'm sure he lives in a pretty nice neighborhood. But again, I don't know.
Maybe if you showed us where his house was, we could judge that for ourselves.
What is Mr. Two-Time?
Yeah, he was Mr. Two-Time. Because he won... I forgot.
Find out what game it is. I want to know.
Alright, before I talk about something while I find out.
Now we can switch into our next topic. Anita, why don't you tell us about Serena Williams?
Oh, geez. Well, I'll need some help with this because I don't have the full story as it keeps popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
But Serena Williams was doing the U.S. Championships, and the umpire, is that referee? Umpire? Referee, I guess.
Referee, I think.
Yeah, he called her out for coaching, and so she sort of lost her shit.
Which
and was
is
like,
what?
So her coach. So during a match, you're not allowed to talk or do anything with your coach. And the referee saw her coach like making hand signs and basically trying to coach her.
Okay.
And he says that Serena never looked over here, and he says that it's just a common thing to do in the industry. Like everyone does it. So she
Yeah.
got a penalty for it. And she went off on the referee.
Maybe this ref isn't super biased or whatever.
From what I know, he is like extremely strict with ruling.
so something else that came out of this too is like, so she lost her shit. She called him she said that he called her a liar, which I can understand because when people indirectly call me a liar or a cheater, that was it. I called her a cheater, but like I will go 1 to 100 if people use certain words on me that don't even make sense to use, because I'm like, that is totally against my character. And that's what she was freaking out about. She's like, I do not cheat. This is something I just don't do. So 1 to 100. And then he took a point away from her for verbal abuse because she wouldn't let it go. And then she's like, you're a thief too. And now she has to pay $17,000 in fines.
$17,000 in fines. I don't think this is the part we should be focused on. Is the fine, because she did make $1.8 million.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, why?
The thing is that well, I just want to point this out fast. A lot of guys have taken to Twitter. A lot of male professional tennis players have said, "I've done this. I've said worse shit, and
Yeah.
I haven't been penalized." So
Why?
they think, yeah,
Why is she
Yeah, but
getting
that depends on the
fined?
judge.
it does depend on the judge.
They
But
were specifically talking about him in their tweets and stuff.
yeah,
that
because
were
they
doing in
went back
support.
and people have looked back and found instances where people talk shit to this judge and don't get penalized.
But okay, wait. But why was she fined? I don't.
Because in a lot of
Unsportsmanlike conduct and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in a lot of sports, if you behave I guess like an idiot in some way, then they fine you. And in most sports, they do that.
What the fuck? I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this at all.
Yeah, remember I think it was a couple years ago, Texas Rangers were playing the Blue Jays,
Yeah.
Toronto Blue Jays, and one of the Texas Rangers just fucking decked. His name was Odor. Decked Bautista.
Yeah.
And I think they were both fined and then suspended because Batista also threw punches.
Interesting.
But yeah, so I mean, it's pretty common for conduct to get you fined and suspended. But does Serena Williams' conduct justify what she got?
I guess I'd have to hear what she said. I know she must have tweeted or said on the news what she thought she said, but it's all contents and stuff.
Well, you can see the clips
there's-
of her on the
yeah.
court.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's videos and you can hear her pretty clearly.
Oh, okay.
I listened to her. I don't think she ever cursed or said anything. She basically said you'll never work on a court where I'm at again, basically. And
But other people have said that to certain referees and stuff too. I read some. I wish I wrote it down, but I read some of the males that have actually said that to some other referees,
yeah,
and it's where was the chaos that came out of that for them?
yeah. So
So-
what? Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was just gonna say. So it's sounding like it's just because she's a chick, or she rubbed him the wrong way, or maybe he was on his rag or something.
I think it's gonna sound really bad, but like I think there is a like almost dismissive attitude towards women when they start getting angry about stuff, where you would dismiss a woman a lot sooner than you would a man.
Yeah.
When a man's like pissed off, he can express himself. Like fuck you, you stupid fucking asshole. But when a woman does that, it's like, oh, I can't believe she said that.
Yeah,
No,
because men are passionate and women just get worked up.
That is actually really true. Yeah, if a guy freaks out, it's like, oh, buddy, like he's just a dude, right? But if a girl freaks out, it's like, wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so catty.
But a couple of things that Serena said was that she told him, Ramos, the judge, you stole a point from me because of the judging. She lost a point for that. And then she called him a liar. She said, you are a liar. You'll never be on a court of mine as long as you live. When are you going to give me an apology? Say you're sorry. And then he issued a second penalty against her for that, for abusing an umpire or official.
So it is an umpire.
See, what I saw was referee.
I think it is a referee.
They're interchangeable.
Whatever.
Sometimes. I mean, in baseball, they're umps. In basketball, they're referees. Football, they're referees. I don't know. Where are umpires used other than baseball?
Apparently tennis.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know sports. Clearly,
anyway,
I know the least about sports here.
A lot of this took away from the winner, who was Naomi Osaka, who was extremely young, I believe. She's like,
I was clapping for her.
How old is Naomi Osaka? Now I want to look it up.
27.
20 years old exactly.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so like really young, and beat one of the best. Granted,
wasn't this like 25 years in a row or something that Serena Williams has won? Like 100 years in a row.
Yeah, like I mean, she did have her pregnancy, which I think she was out for a couple of years, but yeah,
she killed it, man.
Absolutely dominant.
She was like 9 months pregnant. She was killing it out there.
She's won 23 Grand Slam titles.
Oh,
Grand Slam is like what it's called.
Yeah, just think, to be the best for 23 years in a sport.
She even played when she was pregnant.
Is that a world record?
Oh, I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can she be considered like the greatest athlete of our time?
Wow.
So,
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, if you're going by awards.
Well, George Blanda played pro football till he was 48 years old.
But was he putting up numbers like Serena?
Well,
it is harder for a team base.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's a team sport. So,
but even in team sports, if your team sucks, you'll put up above average numbers if you're good, right?
Yeah, like your
I don't follow sports. I don't know.
Your personal stats can be high, but if the team sucks and you're not winning the Super Bowl where she's good, she can win the tournament.
Yeah,
but
who's the Green Bay Packers quarterback? Aaron Rodgers, I think. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is known as like one of the greatest, or one of the great quarterbacks. I think I could be wrong.
Eric's like Hulk Hogan. Hello. Greatest athlete of our generation.
He did wrestle into his 50s. That is
okay.
Pretty impressive since his spine is like fucking glass at this point.
Oh, and you can also say you could say LeBron James is probably one of the greatest athletes of our generation because he is putting up insane numbers even though he's not winning championships.
Sure, but I think Serena Williams could be a runner.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Serena Williams definitely too.
Eric's all a woman can't win it.
Yeah, fucking Eric, sexist piece of shit.
2018.
Well, actually, I think the greatest pro wrestler of all time in that terms was not Hulk Hogan. It was actually a woman, Mae Young, because she wrestled her last match at 85 years old.
Oh wow! Now he's saying, "Oh,
did she die in the ring?"
I don't want to be a sexist.
No, but she did actually get dizzy at one point and fell down because, like,
Oh my god.
when you're 85 years old, you really don't have any business doing something like that. But it's pretty impressive that she was confident enough, I guess, to get in there.
They're like, oh, she's down. Hit her with a chair.
Get out the sledgehammer.
This is her chance. He like
But no,
hooves
like,
her
if
in the
you want
gut.
If you want me to be totally honest, I definitely think Serena Williams is the best female tennis player of all time. But there was actually a big stink about her a couple years ago, where they had a guy who's now in his 50s and a tennis coach, and he said something on Twitter about how Venus Williams was the best female tennis player possibly of all time and certainly of the current generation, but that if you ranked all the tennis players, male and female, she'd probably be like somewhere in the 30s or 40s, I think he said. And they brought him on CNN to try and like verbally roast him for this, and he was just like, no, he's like, look at the stats, like she doesn't come close to the top males in the sport. It's just a fact.
I don't think it's fair.
And then they were like
stats when she
and then they were like
males though.
And then they were like, well, and then they were like, oh, I suppose you think you'd be better than her. He's like, at my age, no, I'd probably be ranked like 500 in the world. And they were just like, oh. Because they were expecting him. You could tell they were expecting him to be like, "Oh yeah, I could kick her ass." And he was just like, no. He was just like, "No, I'm like 58. I'd be like ranked 500. What are you talking about?"
The old Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs fight. You know? Do you know about that? Hello, anyone?
No.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Billie
You're
Jean
just
King.
making sounds.
Billie Jean King was. This is also tennis. So this whole episode is gonna be tennis based, I guess. Billie Jean King was like the #1 female tennis player, or on her Wikipedia it says is an American former world #1 professional tennis player. And whenever she was 29, this other like a professional tennis player who was a male, Bobby Riggs, challenged her to a title called Battle of the Sexes, and she beat his ass. Pretty
Nice.
sure,
Yeah,
pretty easily. Yes,
at least she went against him. Like unlike Ronda Rousey, who said she was the greatest fighter of all time and then refused to fight males.
She fucked up hard. When I saw her in those interviews before the match, she literally said exactly what the opponent was going to do to her to win, and then she let them do exactly all of that.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, that was on her. I can't remember who she fought, but the woman that she fought that
beat her the first time.
Beat her.
Yeah.
If you saw interviews of her before that, she's like, oh, we're going to get into the ring and she's going to do this and this and this and she's going to try and use this against me and blah, blah, blah. And that's exactly what she did. And even though she knew that was the woman's exact way, she
defend against it. Yeah.
She didn't have any counter plan. She was just like, this is exactly what's going to happen. And
I actually like Rowdy Ronda, though. She's been great in WWE.
Yeah, but when she was talking all that good shit, man, you hated her. You were like, so anti.
You totally reinvented history. I thought it was stupid that she said she could beat anyone.
You were like, I hate her. She's a woman. She's a piece of shit because she's a woman.
This actually sounds exactly like Eric.
Yeah,
classic sexist.
Yeah.
This is why I got
you. Okay. Holy shit! You need to turn that down.
So loud.
You need to turn that down a fuck time. That hurt my ears. The fuck is your problem, Eric?
Oh,
pretty sure my neighbors heard that.
Okay.
Yeah,
is that really that loud?
I just take my headphones off.
Anita was drowned out. She was saying something and was not.
I don't even remember what I said. That brain cell is now dead from the sound.
Okay, so we got another topic here though.
Rowdy Ronda.
Is it tennis related?
We only speak.
I don't think so. I think this is an actress, but I just want to say now's a good time to put in a new hog leg.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, yeah.
And anyone seen any good? Anyone seen any good memes lately?
I like the memes, the Nike memes. Sacrifice everything, even if it. Oh wait, no, believe in something even though it means sacrificing everything. I like the
Yep.
memes, so they're really funny.
Is this the new a new segment of the podcast, like meme corners?
Oh, we could, yeah.
The meme
be like,
corner.
oh, you
Give
got
us
some
your
new memes?
dankest, freshest memes.
Yeah, I'm liking
I like,
Thanos' car.
I hate
that one's
Thanos' car.
okay.
It's so dumb.
I just like why
like-
the person got their car done like that and like good. Yeah, this looks good. I'll drive this. No.
I don't even know what that meme
Go-
is, and now I have to look it up
Yeah, go
because I've.
Google Thanos' car, please.
Oh no!
Yeah,
There's
No,
it's so
this person does not get laid.
it's so terrible.
No.
There's one that's kind of like just getting started, but I hope it catches on. It's okay. I never really watched The Sopranos that much, but who's that character who's always like giving
Tony.
advice? No. The character
Tony.
that's always, like giving advice to Tony, and he's always like, "Hey, Tone, that guy."
Near.
Are you seriously know that, or
I've never watched The
No,
Sopranos.
we have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anyway, so
well,
there's a
it's like-
character
come on.
that gives
We're
advice
not
in The
fucking
Sopranos.
cultured.
so it's like putting him in situations where it's like one I saw that I thought was hilarious. It's like a Photoshop of him at standing in Silent Hill, and he's like, "Hey, Tone, this guy's got a pyramid on his head." So it's just like stuff like that.
Fucking dumb.
That's actually funny.
I like it.
There's one that resurfaced because today is September 11th, but there's like a joke that Lego Star Wars 2 came out, and like that was the most important thing to ever happen on this day.
It came out on this day.
Mike, I take offense to
Lego
what
Star
you're
Wars
saying.
2, yeah.
What
Don't
the
talk about my country like this. You animal.
Well, let's talk about September 11th and
Okay, you want to talk
We
about
should-
September 11th? I can go into fucking rant about September 11th.
yeah, okay.
If you want me to. Because, you know the first responders? The fucking heroes that, save
Yeah.
people? So, the bill that was basically giving them health care because they sacrificed themselves to save countless people during this tragedy. The bill that is giving them health care is running out of money. And the only reason they even have this bill is because of this Fox News host, Shep Shepherd, and the guy that did the HBO show that now has a farm, friends with Colbert. Fuck, I can't think.
He's
Steve,
got. No, it's not Steve. Fuck.
John Stewart.
Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
John
Yes.
Stewart. Yeah, John Stewart brought this up on his show in right after 9/11 about how the first responders were getting no health care. Like they were having to fucking pay it out of pocket, and they were dying at like 25 and 30 because they had inhaled all these
Toxic fumes.
fumes. And so John Stewart brought this up on his show, and he's like, we need to get a bill to get health care for these people. And Shep Shepherd saw it, and Shep Shepherd had John Stewart on, and basically they got enough views to pressure Congress into passing this bill. But this bill stupidly did not, last the lifetime of these
Yeah.
first responders. It only lasted 10 years or something, 10 or 15 years. So it's now running out of money. So
Maybe they
first
didn't
Well,
responders,
they gotta put more money into it.
but why didn't they just fully fund it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Because now we're just going to have to fucking bring attention to it again. When they should have just fucking made a bill that said for the lifetime of the first responders, they will have health care. Because in America, we don't have fucking free health care for everyone.
You don't have
Because we're
universal.
stupid as fuck. And our government would rather take money from the big fucking insurance agencies than, give us all health care.
Is the U.S. like the only First Nation
Yes, it is.
country
Actually.
to not have universal? No,
It is.
that's-
Even a lot of poor countries have healthcare.
That's really fucked up.
It is. It's extremely
America,
fucked up.
America,
America
get it
sucks.
together, please. Come on, America, come on.
Yeah, it's sad, but yeah. So that bill's running out of money.
So, do you
Yeah,
think
so now
people
we're
are
going-
going to
like,
take
for
up
example-
the torch?
Oh, what was that, Anita?
I was just gonna say, do you think people are gonna take up the torch and like bring it to light again and be like,
I hope so. I think like I feel like the majority of Americans. I don't know why any American would oppose this
I think
bill,
the Cheeto
unless-
baby,
You know what,
Cheeto baby would be for supporting that.
I think he would kind of
I
be
mean,
against
I feel
it,
like
to be
I feel like
honest.
he would. I feel like it would be a very smart move to support it
Come on,
because
Cheeto
his
baby.
approval rating is already in the tank, and this would increase his approval rating. I feel.
Yeah.
So I just looked it up out of curiosity, and like to name some countries that are like far poorer than the states that have universal health care. To name just a few, like Albania, Belarus,
Jesus.
Bosnia,
Belarus.
Bosnia,
This is disappointing.
Botswana.
Belarus is a better country than yours, Garrett.
I don't even fucking doubt it.
Kazakhstan,
The sad thing is,
Greatest nation in the world.
the sad thing
Mason.
is,
Macedonia.
the United States spends like $45 billion a year on healthcare right now
On keeping
without
you
universal
sick.
healthcare. But Bernie Sanders proposed a plan that over 10 years it would be down to $33 billion a year.
Well,
Fucking
Bernie
crazy.
Sanders didn't even make it.
Yeah, I mean, Mike, Donna Brazil wrote a book about how they fucking rigged DNC against Bernie Sanders. All right?
So
So just shut
I
the fuck
actually
up,
totally
Bernie.
think that too. From the stuff that I've seen about it, they like put all the funding into Hillary's.
yeah,
Yeah, they
They
did.
wanted
Hillary
Hill Dog.
Totally
in
fucked
there.
Bernie over because Bernie would have won and he would have been the most popular president. Because you know who the most popular president was? FDR. What was he running on? Socialist policies. And the fucking Republicans had to go in and put a bill saying, hey, you can't do more than 2 terms. We're scared of you guys.
Yeah, but I think FDR probably held a paying job before he was 40 years old. Like I'm not totally
Probably,
against
but, like-
I'm not totally against everything Bernie was representing, but I don't think a guy who didn't have a job till he was almost 40 is like the best person to have a perspective on how economic systems
Eric,
should work.
because you read something on 4chan doesn't mean.
You can look it up for yourself.
That's
Do
crazy.
you think he was just doing nothing till he was 40?
I don't know. I don't know what he
sitting
was
in his mom's
doing,
basement, dude, playing Warcraft.
Uncle
Like
Burns.
he was.
I don't know what he was
Yeah.
doing, and if you look at his platform, he was basically a populist in the same way that Ron Paul was a populist. He was just whereas Ron Paul was a libertarian populist, he was a socialist populist. They had a lot of similarities if you compare their platforms.
But this like whole thing where he didn't have a job, what was he doing these 40 years? Because he was.
I don't know
part
what
of-
he was
He was
doing,
part
man. I
of
just-
many like, God, no, I can't think of the word.
I don't think he was sitting around doing nothing. I think he was involved in like maybe not politics, but like I don't know, like movements and shit like that. But I know he didn't have a full-time paying job until he was in his late 30s.
He's been doing stuff relative to what he's
Yeah,
doing
he's
now.
been part of political.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't
campaigns
work
his
at
entire
McDonald's
life.
when he was in high school. He can't be my president.
Like whenever he was in college, I'm pretty sure he's arrested because he was marching with the black rights activists.
Oh yeah, I've heard that one.
But he's a
But,
white
like,
guy.
I feel like personally, I would much rather favor somebody that has worked in advocacy before they pursued a career in it, because then it's like, yeah, you did this shit when you were doing it for free and you were getting nothing out of it. So obviously this is something you feel passionate about.
Yeah.
I think somebody who runs a country has to be one part advocate and one part businessman. You have to be balanced
Well,
like
that's
that
Cheeto babies.
because
But
it
the country's
because
not
it
a
is-
business.
because it is partially a business. Whenever you have a capitalist country, it is partially a business. Whether you like it or not, that's how
But
it is.
why can't you just get advisors to help you with that aspect?
Yeah.
Like economic advisors that have run businesses.
I mean, that's what
Because
Canada's
Trump's a
Senate's made out of.
businessman, and it's not looking so great.
He's doing okay.
Yeah,
In terms of economics, I'd say he's doing okay.
well, he's gonna put like the fucking
Tariffs
he's putting
everything.
yeah, like one, he tariffed everything, and job wages are down. There was a huge thing about this recently. A union, the chairman of the AFCILO, which is the American Free Labor Union, it's basically the union leader, went on and said that wages are down, gas prices are up, workers are hurting.
But isn't unemployment at an all-time low? Well, maybe not all-time, but I know it's been getting better.
Unemployment might be low, but wages are low too. Unemployment's low because wages are low.
Yeah, but did he really cause that? I mean, wages have been falling for like the past 20 fucking years.
Well, why hasn't he done anything to fix it as a businessman?
Well, why didn't Obama do anything?
Well, why didn't Bush do anything? Why didn't Clinton do anything?
Why are we talking about Obama and Bush?
Problem. Yeah, but I'm saying that's a long-term
Trump's my president right now.
If it's been going on for 20 years, then it's not the president.
I think it's actually been longer. I remember reading something about how the value of minimum wage, in other words, like obviously with inflation, the money goes up, but the value doesn't necessarily go up because prices also increased. And I remember hearing somewhere that the value of minimum wage, like to what you can buy with minimum wage versus what it is, like the real value of it, peaked in like 1970 or something like that.
Yeah, makes sense.
Well, because workers' wages are not increasing at the same rate as inflation.
Right.
So yeah, you might make more than you did 50 years ago, but inflation has increased.
Less.
Yeah, inflation has increased by like double fold. So you're making more, doing this in air quotes, but you're not getting the money.
You
like
can't see it, but there's air.
I feel like controlling inflation is almost more important than controlling the value of wages. Like I think that's maybe even more the most important thing of all.
The joke or what everyone always talks about is like in the 50s, like you work at a grocery store and you'd like own a house and a car.
Yeah.
No one's doing that now.
Yeah. You could work one summer and pay for all your schooling.
Yeah.
Now I have to work during the summer just to make sure I can keep a roof over my head during one semester of schooling.
One semester while you continue to work.
Yeah,
during that
40
semester.
hours a week.
Yeah. No, it's insane how much the difference is.
Another thing is that so a lot of like big corporations that have hundreds of thousands, not hundreds of thousands, maybe tens of thousands of employees, are also paying their employees shit wages, right?
Yeah.
So another bill Bernie introduced was a bill that would tax employers 100% based on all the welfare their employees get. So if like food stamps and other forms of social benefits, because you make so little, there's a bill proposed that would tax their employers 100% based on that, because they're paying such shit wages. They might as well pay for the welfare that the government has to provide because they're not paying them enough.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I like it too.
If you can't pay your employees a living wage, then fuck you. You get taxed because you're making them dependent on the system.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty nice idea. Because it doesn't just work from a Democratic standpoint. It works from a Republican standpoint too, because it promotes fiscal responsibility. So, hopefully it gets support from both sides of the aisle.
Okay.
It's interesting, but there's another big problem that I don't think Bernie really addressed, and maybe he did, and correct me if I'm wrong, but part of the reason why things are so shit now is because of rampant globalism. You have businesses who are, have their headquarters in the States, and they open a factory in China or somewhere to build their shit because they can pay the people there, crap money.
Nickels and dimes.
They import it and they sell it for a cheaper price. But it's better economically if they open the factory in the States, they pay people real money to make the shit, they sell the product within the States. Yes, it would cost a higher price, but you would be making enough money so that you could afford it.
What way? How does this affect Bernie's?
I'm saying I don't think he ever said anything against globalism.
Okay, but he didn't have something to
And
talk.
that's-
Maybe he didn't
that
think
wasn't-
globalism was
that's
a problem, or it was something that they could fix.
It is something you can fix by offering incentives to companies who keep their business within the country. That
No, I know, but okay, if he didn't get to it, then it just wasn't something that was on his agenda, I guess.
I mean, he only had a limited time to speak about so many things before they fucked him over.
He wanted to fix things
I
other
definitely,
ways.
I definitely agree with you that they fucked him over and that it's causing a huge schism within the Democratic Party supporters now, because you have all these people who are like, oh, it was her turn. Bernie bros are crybabies, and it's like, well, the guy was fucked by his own party.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted her.
Nobody wanted this fucking criminal. They were willing to vote for a reality TV star over this
her.
woman.
Yeah. One thing I've wanted to say for a while now is there was a clip, and this is like really fucking cringy in my opinion. There's a clip of like the John Oliver show where he like made fun of like President Trump's hand, and then John Oliver starts dancing in front of a big neon sign that says like Trump.
What?
I swear
Why
to
does he
God,
make
it's
fun
a
of his
thing.
hand?
I don't know. Like he has tiny hands or something, but like
Oh, okay. Do you not know the tiny hands meme that's around Trump?
I
talked
kind of
about
know
this
it.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
His
he-
hands are exceptionally large.
Yeah, because he's like, my hands are plenty large, and if they're large, you know what else is. Like,
Right.
and he said this wild.
Yeah, but
fucking
that was
debate
in. Yeah, but
on
you know
national
what? I
TV.
never really. I
And
never
so
gave him
people
a.
people joke that he has tiny hands. It's just a fucking joke.
I know, but
I
like,
never gave him. If I could say something,
okay.
I never
sorry,
gave him
Eric.
that. I never gave him that much shit for that because he was saying that in response to somebody insulting him. It's not like he just pulled that out of his ass.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
didn't pull out of
that's
his ass.
fine.
It was some juvenile like fucking small hands. You must have a small dick.
But
No,
do
that
you
wasn't
need
even
to
it. He's the
reply
one
to
that brought the dick into it all by himself. No one else brought his dick into it. He did.
Well, no, they're talking about his hands.
No,
so
I'm
then
pretty
he's
sure
like,
they brought it. I'm pretty sure he was responding to an implied slight like that, and that's one of those things where it's like, how dare you turn our circus into a circus? You know what I mean? Like they brought it up. So.
yeah. No, I just the fact that like he's like John Oliver was dancing in front of this stupid fucking sign, so dumb.
Entertainment.
Yeah, I guess. All right. Do we want to move on?
Oh, okay. So here it is.
Okay.
Hold on one second.
Garrett's got it.
He's Marco Rubio was one who talked to him. He's always calling me Little Marco, and I'll admit he's taller than me. He's like 6'2", which is why I don't understand why his hands are the size of someone who's 5'2". And you know what they say about some men with small hands? You can't trust them.
What the hell does that mean?
It's just a saying. Can't trust
Can't
them.
trust a man with small hands.
Sure.
That is what my grandmother used to tell me every day.
Really?
No.
Wait, was that the soundboard? Was that Tim Allen? Yeah. So good. I love you, soundboard. All right, let's talk about something. We saved this Garrett one for last, but Olivia Munn? Question
This
mark?
wasn't mine.
Anita? No, we're
Was
gonna
that
talk
yours?
about your other one.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I said it too. Olivia Munn is in the new Predator movie. Okay.
Eric, that is not appropriate for what we're
No, it's
talking
it's
about.
not appropriate
You're gonna
for what
see.
it's talking about.
He's in the new Predator movie, and the director hired this guy. And basically, the scene with Olivia Munn in the movie is him hitting on Olivia. And it turns out, they found out after, that this guy is actually a convicted sex offender,
Registered sex offender, yeah.
registered sex offender. Wouldn't you have to be convicted for that? No?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but registered means you're on a database.
he was basically hitting on a 14-year-old girl through
Yeah.
email and being like, "Baby, I want to fuck you."
You have a nice ass.
Honestly, though, there is nobody in this world I would rather have sex with than you. Direct quote. So Olivia Munn was like, "Fuck you" to the director. Well, she wasn't like "fuck you." She's just like, "How could you cast somebody in this movie and know about this because the director knew and not tell any of us about it? Like, you didn't give us a choice whether or not to work with him." And
Yeah.
It's Hollywood. It's Hollywood. Aren't half of them outed as perverts at this point?
Well, yeah,
I mean-
but why not just hire any other actor in the world?
the director was like, "This guy's my friend. I'm doing him a favor," and hid it from the cast so that they didn't really get a choice.
I thought I heard the director say that he didn't know. I didn't know that he was his friend.
From what I've read at different things, it said that they were friends, but I don't know because like it's the internet, right? Like stories
Yeah.
get all fucked up. But yeah, so and then Olivia Munn was like, "Well, we have to do something. Delete the scene." So they deleted the scene, and then they started going on the press circuits to advertise for the movie, and it seems like the rest of the crew, the rest of the actors in the movies are like kind of blowing her off and giving her the cold shoulder. So now she's doing all these press circuits alone and they're not showing up to the interviews. So it's like they're
Because
showing
Wait,
she
so-
got someone fired?
she
they're
got
mad
them
at her?
deleted.
Yeah, she got them taken out of the movie.
And now
And it's-
they're
So-
mad at her for that.
So a couple of her co-stars said that, like, apologized to her and said that they didn't know and that they weren't scheduled for some of these press junkets. Like, they were only scheduled for one or something. But I don't know how true that is.
And they did not come out until like after the fact too. Once the
Yeah.
story started picking up fuel, then
Yeah.
one of her co-stars like tweeted out like, "Good for you for being so brave and sticking to your guns." And it's like, but he's not actually.
It seems like a PR move
Yeah.
on her co-star's account. But
Wow.
So wait, he hit on her in the movie or like
Yeah,
in the
like
movie.
it was part of
but
it was
it was
part of the
his-
script.
yeah, it was a script.
But the whole issue is like he is a registered sex offender that was trying to be a predator to a 14-year-old girl.
Yeah. I
So-
guess
That's like when Disney let that pedophile direct Powder.
The fuck is Powder?
Yeah.
Remember that movie with that guy who's all white and he got hit by lightning?
he's like
No.
a psychic. He like can put spoons on his nose.
No.
Alakazam?
Nah, yeah, Powder was this really, really weird movie, and apparently it was directed by a pedophile.
Yeah, when the guy was 29, he had sex with like a 14-year-old boy, and when they called one of the producers out on it, he was like, "Well, they actually weren't that much different in age because I guess in Hollyweird, 29 is equal to
Ooh,
40."
got him! A mysterious
don't know.
albino teenager, Jeremy Powder Reed, is rescued from the basement in which he's lived in since birth, but the extremely intelligent Reed is not welcomed into the community of
We
students.
don't need a synopsis of the movie, do we? We're just talking about how it was directed by a pedo.
Well, Rush Hour is directed by what the hell was he arrested for and then ran away from?
I mean, we could talk about Woody Allen and how he's a pedo. Oh wait, no, he just married his daughter. His
Yeah,
adopted daughter, which
after
is
he groomed her.
yeah, that's fucking
Yeah,
weird.
that's fucked up too. Like that's really fucked up.
So, like, do you think that the director had a responsibility to tell the people?
I feel like yes, absolutely.
By the way, I'm
If you're
hiring my
working with
friend.
a sex
Yeah, he should have been like, "Hey, Olivia Munn."
Because like not knowing that he's a sex or whatever he is, sex offender, like that's just weird. Like, why wouldn't you tell them that?
Yeah,
Because you're trying to fucking hide something.
yeah. Like just by the way, this guy that I've hired, he's a sex offender. Oh, well, I'm
I was
not really ever comfortable with that. Oh,
So-
okay.
So, but this opens up an interesting point. So, then, should you have to tell anybody if they've got a criminal conviction for anything? Should you have to tell them?
If it's some kind of employee, yes. Like if it's a work relationship, yes.
I thought you had to. I
not
thought if you
you're-
were
like,
a sex...
you have to tell or registered sex offenders, yes, and also convicted felons on like if you apply for a new job, you have to say that you are what you were convicted for, or that you're a registered sex offender. It's up to the boss, I think, to tell employees. I'm not sure about that, but you do have to say that you are.
Well, then, okay,
Maybe
if they
you are.
have to tell him or not, that's basically what we're talking about. It's like, if that's not the law, then he didn't have to tell Olivia Munn. But if it is the law, then he did.
I just think it's like it's very. It's hard for me. Okay, with this specific case, I'm like, yeah, fuck that guy, because for me that's like, you're literally being a predator on like a child.
In a
Now,
movie
if-
called Predator.
Yeah, if it was like a different crime, like I don't fucking know, you got charged with like possession or some shit like that, like
Then, like, who cares?
I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But like I don't know. I would rather work with a thief than a pedophile.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
everybody would, but there's also, other violent crimes.
Yeah. I don't know.
So should you be warned if somebody like punched an old woman in the head and stole her purse?
Now I'm gonna play the devil's advocate, but it's just acting in a movie in one scene. Is it really that big of a deal? He's a sex offender.
But like you would want to know, wouldn't you, if you were acting in the scene with him?
So if
I would want to know. I would want to know where a but on a
Eric, you're
movie
cutting
set-
out.
Cutting.
You
You're
cut out.
cutting.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you did.
Okay, I would say I was saying I would want to know if I was going to be in a position where, like, if it's somebody you're working in an office with and you might be alone in the office with them or something, but on a movie set surrounded by hundreds of people, is there really a point where you would feel unsafe? I mean, I could still understand wanting to know, but I don't think it was like, again, in front of an entire cast and crew of, presumably dozens, if not hundreds of people, that he was going to drag her into a closet somewhere. I don't think that was ever a danger.
Yeah, I just
Well, also he likes children, so.
yeah. So she
Yeah.
wasn't in danger at all.
But like
That was a bad joke.
my thing is like Olivia Munn was always part of like the Me Too movement, like when it came out with like all those buttons and they were all wearing them and stuff. Like she was very open and on the front lines of that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like one that was in the media like some of the other ones, but there was photos of her wearing the buttons and things like that. So like you already know that she is a woman for women not
towards-
being like
Yeah.
victims, and then you hire somebody on this movie that literally made a woman into a victim, a young woman.
Yeah, so
it's like
it kind of just seemed like the director made a bad choice in being like, yeah, buddy, okay, I'll get you this
you my bro.
I'll get you this acting job. Just don't, be hush hush about it. He did the
Yeah,
job.
because-
They found out. She's like, that's not cool. It's her right to be like, it's not cool for that. But like, I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it's a huge deal to me.
But think about it, like if he wasn't friends with the director, would he have gotten this position?
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure not.
Yeah, and if he did, then the director would have told everyone about his situation, that he's a fucking sex offender.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, I hired a sex offender to hit on Olivia Munn and go.
Yeah, he's like
That's
giving
good.
like last notes.
Obviously, it would come out a bit differently like that. How do you feel about working with the sexual offender?
he's like they're like on set like last notes. He's like, oh, just a little more emotion in this scene. Move those bottles over there. Robert's a sex offender. He touched a little girl. Olivia Munn coming from the left. I'm just like, what? What was that last one?
You have sex with a random guy on the street. He'll just be an extra. He's also a sex offender. Yeah. All right, action.
I want Robert to feel your pussy in this scene.
Jesus.
All right, let's wind down this podcast by talking about a real wet topic. A real wet and wild topic.
There's sometimes you should joke and sometimes you shouldn't. Like whenever people's lives are, at risk, probably shouldn't joke about it. Just saying.
We're gonna talk about. Yeah, it's really serious. The South Carolina hurricane.
Called Hurricane Florence, you idiot.
Well, you didn't write it in the thing, so how am I supposed to know?
Well, you'd be like, tell us about it, Garrett, and I'll be like, yes, Michael.
All right, tell us about Hurricane Florence.
South Kakalaki.
Yeah.
It's not South Kakalaki. You fucking Canadian.
You're the only one that calls it that.
In the world.
Anyway, Hurricane Florence is now a Category 4. And let me tell you what a Category 4
Come on, it's not that bad.
means.
Just a little wet.
I'm sure it only goes up to 5. So.
A little bit of rain, a little bit of wind,
130 to 156 mile per hour wind. Catastrophic damage will occur. Well-built framed houses. Well-built framed houses can sustain severe damage with loss of most of the roof structure and some of the exterior walls. Most trees will be snapped or uprooted, and power poles will be down. Fallen trees and power poles will isolate residential areas. Power outages will last weeks, possibly months. Most of the area will be uninhabitable for weeks or months.
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's Category 4. And it's planning to hit Florence, I think, in the middle of the week.
Okay, wait, you say it's planning, so Florence
is sentient.
It's sentient? Yeah.
We know it's going there. It
is on course. Oh, it's on course to hit it on the weekend. Sorry.
It's got flyers flowing all over it.
South Carolina, I'm coming for you.
Jesus. Guys, I told you not to fucking joke about this.
Oh, it's gonna suck, but
I think everybody in South Carolina should get the fuck out.
But anyway.
Oh, Eric, you're gonna like this one. I saw a post. It was a tweet, and it was for anyone who's evacuating South Carolina, and then it's all clapping emojis. It's please bring your pets, bring your pets, bring your pets, and then like
you're doing it wrong. It's there you go.
Bring your pets. Bring your pets.
Save your fur babies.
And it's like, yes, like I'm sure like 99% of the population is going to be like, all right, scruffies into the car. Like, what asshole is like, pushes his cat away on the face, and he's like, I need my Pringles. Or Pringles, just get in the car. Fuck this. Like, no, no one's leaving their fucking animal behind.
I'm sorry, Lucky, we can't bring you.
Women out
we had
first.
We had to put the Xbox in your place.
Yeah. No, you can't take Hammy the hamster. Throw him in the trash. Just kill him now. Snap his neck. The storm was already taking him. Throws it like through out the window. Just gets sucked into the storm.
It's like that.
Hammy, no!
It's like that apocalypse episode of Family Guy where Chris wants to bring his pet tree with him, and Peter's like, it'll just be another mouth to feed, so he takes it out back and shoots.
Oh, sorry, what, Anita?
I was just gonna say, isn't South Carolina like prone to like when they flood, like it fucks up the whole country, anyways?
Probably.
I don't know. South Carolina is pretty far down there.
North
South Carolina is where the racists had their protests and killed a woman last year.
Well, then fucking get that storm in there and kill them all.
Like, just because they're not all bad, Mike.
I don't know why I'm making such a joke of this natural disaster.
Anyway, it's supposed to hit actually on Friday, not the middle of the week.
It's not funny.
Michael is an asshole.
You are a racist. You are a homophobe.
All right, are we done? Can I talk about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finish us off.
So fuck. Now I forgot what I was. Oh, up to 35. This is what I wanted to say. Up to 35 inches of rain could fall in some places throughout Carolina.
35
Jesus.
inches.
35 inches. That's 3 feet of rain.
35
That's
inches.
like-
That's like
That's
three
like,
of
that's
my.
like 7 of Trump's dick.
Eric, I was gonna say that's like
Trump's
three
got
of.
a pretty big dick then.
I was gonna make a penis joke. I was
It's
gonna.
like
I was gonna
35
say that. Well, that's like 3 of my dicks.
That's like 35 of my dicks.
Yeah. I've seen Garrett's. We went to a
Like
bathhouse.
little button.
Yeah, so bigger than I don't know.
Anyway.
I don't have anything. I'm sorry.
I don't really know what else to say about it. If you're in South or North Carolina, get the fuck away from the coast.
Get out of the fucking pathway, please.
Yeah.
See,
Please.
this always happens. Like, hurricanes will be coming, and people will be like, nah, it's not going to be bad. And they
Yeah.
get fucked.
I
straight
ain't gonna
from their
leave
route.
my house.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I did want to point out about this is President Trump is already getting
Bunker down.
emergency services basically on standby for this.
Oh,
Is it
And,
better than he did for Puerto Rico?
Yeah, I was about to bring it up. Puerto Rico still just got power last month after like a fucking 9 months of no power. And basically no emergency services given to Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico is a fucking territory of the United States. But Trump's like, they're Mexicans. So yeah,
It sounds Mexican. Must be Mexican.
yeah, exactly.
President Blormf is a racist.
Mike, I think you're the only one here that doesn't say Trump.
I like all the stupid millennial names they have for him.
Cheeto.
Cheeto baby.
Cheeto
really stuck into him there.
My favorite is when they compare him to Voldemort because they can't relate anything to reality without comparing it to children's literature.
I feel like you have said that statement like every single podcast, but yeah,
Whenever
true.
he gets something on 4chan, Mike, he just has to repeat it over and over.
These
Yeah.
are original thoughts.
No,
Also, Matt Hardy's from North Carolina, and his theme song says he can slap a tornado. So maybe he should go down to South Carolina and punch the hurricane.
Tornado and hurricanes are completely different things, Eric.
I have a memory.
Tornadoes are better.
So yeah, okay.
Tornadoes-
So
no, way,
I
dude.
wanted
Hurricanes
to.
are much scarier.
I wanted to bring this up.
No.
I wanted to bring this up. I have a memory of when we were kids. Eric was like obsessed with tornadoes, and one time he asked our dad. He was like, "What's more deadly, a tornado or a hurricane?" And Dad was basically just like a hurricane, and Eric was like, "No, but what about like a really big F5?"
What about a really big F5 hurricane?
And Eric was
This is-
just
I still stand by this argument today. Listen, a hurricane affects a wider area, so it affects more people. But the strongest hurricane, if you get in your basement, you're fine. You're
No, you
100%
won't.
fine. Yep. If
A
you get in your
hurricane?
if you get in your
happens.
basement,
You will
if you get in your
flood. You will
basement,
drown.
if you get in your basement for an F5 tornado, you're fucked. There's nothing you can fucking do.
You can't go
But
in
an
your
F5
basement for a hurricane.
Yeah, you can't go
will
in your basement for a
drown.
hurricane. You'll drown.
Not well. It's still not the same thing. If we're talking about that's a secondary effect. That's the flooding.
But a hurricane
But
does
that's
overall.
part of the
hurricanes
hurricane.
have overall do more
You can't-
damage and have more deaths.
If you have a hurricane that passes over a skyscraper, that skyscraper will be standing afterwards. If a skyscraper takes a hit from an F5 tornado, it's fucked. It's fucked. There's
Well-
nothing on nature that compares to that.
Eric, you just have a giant boner for tornado.
Eric is on Team Tornado.
Hurricane Sandy fucked up New York.
Hurricane
Katrina fucked up New
hashtag
Orleans.
Tornado.
And
It
Hurricane
fucked up New York.
Florence.
Can't get a cup of coffee or a hot dog for $2?
You couldn't.
I
Because
mean,
streets were fucking flooded.
and like as soon as your water source is like fucked like that, there's so many long-term effects. Like
They're not listening anymore, Anita.
I am
They're
listening.
Eric,
I am
Eric
listening.
made it funny.
It's
in
like-
epidemiology, they like talk about that, like how once your water source is fucked, like you're pretty much fucked. Like there's
Yeah,
nothing
Eric.
you can do.
ignorant
Listen,
Eric.
an F5 tornado it's the most powerful winds recorded on Earth. Over 300 miles per hour.
Not as powerful
Never
as the
recorded
wind coming out of this
my
windbag.
ass.
I was making a joke about
Mike,
Eric being a
we
windbag.
did it at the same time.
Ah,
I
everyone's
was talking
taking my
about farts.
jokes.
You were talking about my Eric's something.
I was
whatever.
just saying that Eric was being a windbag right now.
Yeah, classic Eric.
I mean, I'm
Eric, I
more
love
afraid
ya.
of hurricanes.
I'm afraid of both. So
Well,
I'm
you're
afraid-
you're crazy because if you saw an F5 tornado coming towards you, Anita, all you could do is kiss your sweet ass goodbye. That's it. You're
that's
fucked.
But I've
sweet
been-
ass goodbye.
Last month I was in a freaking microburst and I was so sure I was gonna die then, and that's not even comparable to a hurricane. I'm pretty sure a hurricane's gonna fuck me up just as much as a tornado's gonna fuck me up. Like
I was
I'm
in a
gonna die
microburst
either
as-
way.
I was in a microburst as a child, and that's at most an F2 tornado. At most.
I was in a tornado as a child. I literally grew up in tornado.
Sucked up,
alley.
sucked up Garrett's trailer park.
He lived in it while it spun for years until it landed.
And then I visited the world of Oz.
Holy fuck, that one actually scared me. I thought that was Jared.
Who's in my house?
It's like, how did Jared get in this call? Anyways, we're at like an hour 6 minutes, so
Yeah, I just want everyone to remember hurricanes are much scarier.
you
Get the fuck out of South Carolina.
you know, South Carolina, you will be in our thoughts and our prayers. We made jokes,
let's
but we
pray.
love you. Please evacuate your pets.
Yep. And
Very important.
as we always say, listen to trans voices.
Yep.
And keep that hog leg in.
Yes.
Keep hog legging. Anita, why don't you tell us about social media, and then we'll say goodbye.
Oh yeah, we have social media now. Goodbye. We have a Facebook.
Okay, she's doing it.
We have an Instagram. We have a Twitter. We have.
Are they all just Neon Nightcast? Just search Neon Nightcast.
They're mostly all Neon Nightcast. Some of them will be Neon_Nightcast, and I don't know which one's a which. So figure it out. You're smart people. Good luck.
Next time, we'll be more prepared.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
If something's hard to do, then it's not worth doing.
Goodbye,
I guess that's
everyone.
it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.